general audience doesn't trust brands. There needs to be another way to build that trust for the brand. That's really where we see creator marketing has kind of stepped in. I don't know that AI will do that, but AI is going to have a huge role.
It's the blend of human and AI that together is going to create wonders into the world.
The more that you wait, the further behind you get. There's a creator that can help build that trust, that can help you get that message out there. So the time's now.
Today we are diving into the dynamic world of creator and influencer marketing, a vital new frontier for brands of all sizes. Hello everyone, this is Kripa Anand and welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast, where we explore the strategic insights and innovative approaches transforming how businesses connect with their audiences in the digital age. Today we are diving into the dynamic world of creator and influencer marketing, a vital new frontier for brands of all sizes. In today's fast-paced digital ecosystem, building brand awareness, earning trust, and driving measurable impact requires compelling, creator-driven campaigns. Our guest today brings nearly 2 decades of experience from the forefront of this evolution, helping top Canadian and global brands navigate the creator economy. So joining us today is Gabe Mederos, Vice President, Creator Marketing at Edelman Canada. Gabe is a recognized leader in creator and influencer marketing, known for blending strategic insight with the deep understanding of the digital landscape. With a career spanning corporate, agency, not-for-profit and government sectors, including senior digital roles at Scotiabank, TELUS and Nestle, Gabe now leads innovative programs for clients including Samsung, Microsoft, PepsiCo, and eBay. He is also an instructor at Humber College, where he teaches the next generation of digital marketing talent. So before further ado, let's welcome this very special guest. Gabe, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's our pleasure. Now, Gabe, your career began before social media, right? Or creator market did not even exist back then.
That's very true.
So this gives you a unique perspective on the evolution of brand communication, right? From your perspective, how has marketing evolved over your career? And, what key shifts led to creative marketing becoming essential for brands and agencies today?
Yeah, great question. And yeah, like I've been around before it all started, which kind of shows my age. But beyond that, what you see is like there was a real transition from marketing being a tool to like just promote and to just kind of push content to something that's more interactive, where it's more conversational, when there's more expected of brands. So whether it's small businesses, large corporations, there's an expectation that there's going to be more of a conversation with their audience. So yeah, like what I feel like what I've seen throughout that progression of my career has been that it has changed, not just the way brands are, how they get their message out there, how they talk about their products, how they talk about their services, but also what's expected of them. And I think you touched upon it a little bit before in kind of as part of the introduction. It's about trust.
Yes.
And it's like what we've seen, and we've seen it as an industry over the last few years, is that the general audience doesn't trust brands. They don't necessarily trust government, not as much as they used to. That's in decline. So there needs to be something else. There needs to be another way to build that trust for the brand, product, or services. And I think that's really where we see creator marketing has kind of stepped in. And it's been an evolution, right? It went from like bloggers to YouTubers to what it is today. Yeah.
Wow, that's a fascinating and insightful overview, Gabe. It's clear that the shift from traditional media out there to digital represents a fundamental change in the way brands communicate. Now let's explore a key factor in successful creator marketing, and that is relationship management, right? In creator marketing, relationships with creators are absolutely paramount for success, right? So for all the listeners, how can SMEs build strong, lasting creator partnerships, and what key elements turn these relationships into, impactful, trust-driven collaborations which are beyond mere financial transactions?
Yeah, I think a biggest part of it is it's like what's in that. It's the relationship. It's like
Yeah.
any other relationship you would have with friends, families, your significant other. It's really about building that relationship, and that relationship is based on generally on trust and mutual benefit.
Yeah.
You're right. Like when it's a very transactional thing, is like you do this, you give me that, and
Yes.
that's how it is. And the reality is, there's not really a strong relationship there. Of like the real successes that we've seen with clients and in the industry is when brands build that relationship with a creator that's built on mutual benefit. So what does that mean? It means that it could be, yeah, sure, financial benefit's a big part of it, but it's also like, do they align with your brand?
Right.
Are you giving them an insight or an exclusive opportunity that they wouldn't necessarily get? Are
Right.
you working on them long with them longer term versus like short one-off like, oh, my campaign's this, let's do the campaign and then forgetting about
Right.
it
It
for
should
like another
align
6 months?
with the bigger vision of the brand.
100%.
Right.
Exactly. It's like actually building, it's almost bringing them into the fold, making them part of your brand. They really are your brand ambassadors.
Right.
So it's like treating them like a brand ambassador. And really what you see where it's most successful is, again, that long-term development and thinking outside of just that, okay, here's a brand, here's a product, here's a service,
Right.
create this piece of content about it. It's almost bringing them in and saying, what do you think of the brand? Give me your insight. How would you do this? Because they know how to reach their audience in a way that we'll never understand. As marketers, as brands, we can never understand their audience like they understand their audience. So really where we see the biggest successes is where brands bring in these creators and they make them a part of their programs, a part of their campaigns. That's a relationship. And then from there, what you'll see is that most creators, when they feel that connection, they'll want to continue working with you. And they'll do a little bit, they'll go over and above because they feel that they are part of that brand.
Well, very well articulated. That's a crucial point, Gabe. It highlights that successful creator marketing is built on a foundation of trust and genuine collaboration. Hello, Canadian entrepreneurs. Are you looking to boost your brand awareness, find authentic creator partnerships, and get results from your social media marketing? Learn from Gabe Mederos, Vice President of Creator Marketing at Edelman, about the evolution of creator marketing, how to manage relationships effectively, and the role of AI in brand storytelling. Let's continue our conversation with Gabe. Now we are in an era of AI, right? AI is not even a buzzword anymore. It's rapidly transforming the digital landscape. Its impact on creator marketing, from strategy to execution, they are becoming more pronounced, right? So, from your perspective, what role does AI play in creator marketing, and how can businesses, leverage it to boost their strategy, analytics, and content creation part of it?
Yeah, I mean, AI, you're absolutely right. AI is not a catchword anymore. It's part of what you have to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, businesses that are ignoring it are falling behind. In terms of creator marketing, it's really an interesting conversation. We actually had this conversation internally like a couple days ago about how AI will impact creator marketing. And then, like, everybody's talking about the emergence of AI creators or AI influencers, and will they take over? There's still something to be said about creators and the authenticity that they bring and the connection that they have with their audience, which hopefully doesn't that won't change even if AI starts to become more prominent. But where we really see AI kicking in is helping in terms of the identification, helping in terms of connecting brands with content that creators develop, and vetting creators. Like one of the biggest elements that we always talk about in terms of creator marketing is the importance of having that connection between the brand and the creator.
Yes.
And a lot of that has to do with, are they the right creator? Are they creating content that aligns with the brand's values, tones, like the way that their personality of the brand's personality? Or are you just picking somebody because of how many followers they have?
Right.
If you don't have that connection, it doesn't work. So AI is a really good tool at helping identify, here's the content that they develop, here's the tone, here's how they interact. Does it match? Like with what the brands are looking for. So there's a lot of benefit to that. And also streamlining systems. Like if we're looking at how, like, we see that creators are using AI to help streamline their concepts. Like, oh, here's our creative concept. It's done with AI and it still works because it's still like AI has learned how they interact, how they communicate, and it helps them streamline the process, which for most brands is excellent. Like if you could shave off a couple of days to get the content online, excellent. So we see that it's becoming more and more prominent that way. Will it replace creators? We don't think so, and we hope not. But it's going to play a massive, or continue to play a massive role in how creator marketing is not only like how we're identified, how like creators are selected, how creators are vetted, but also how like that content comes to life.
Wow, that's a very practical take actually on this, Gabe. It suggests that AI is a powerful tool for augmentation, not a replacement for human creativity and strategic insight. It's the blend of human and AI that together is going to create wonders into the world. All right, it's time for a quick break right here, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll dive into how Edelman is leading the way in creator marketing and driving real results for top brands. Stay tuned.
Hey, you think you know UPS? Yeah, that's us. Everybody knows that. You know what you didn't know? This. Okay, try to keep up. Ocean, us. Ground, rail, air, so us. Guess who? Us. Customs cleared, borders cleared, done. Us. You still with me? Wait for it. Boom. Us. Intelligent, automated, fulfillment. Us. Yep. Healthcare too. Digital your thing? Yeah. Well, book it, ship it, track it. You feeling me yet? Yep. That's all us. That's all UPS.
Welcome back, listeners. Let's now dive into how Edelman's creator-driven marketing programs are delivering measurable impact for major global brands. If I were to give you a time machine right now and say you were to travel 5 years into the future, when you get off that time machine, how do you see AI changing the future? Do you think this exact podcast could be done with replacing me with an AI host?
I mean, I hope not. I
hope so too.
But I mean, it's interesting because it's like what we've seen is like even there's some cases in Asia where that's starting to happen, where it's like there's like live feeds that are done for brands and it's done with AI, like influencers that lead this live feed.
You open LinkedIn and your feed is full of these things.
It's all of these things that are popping up. And the interesting thing about it that they like, from my perspective, personal perspective on it, it's like, it's great as an amplification, as an efficiency tool, but do you trust it? Right? Like as a person, even if it's 5 years down the line, and obviously like AI is going to continue evolving, it's going to make in leaps and bounds and it's going to be really great. But is that connection? Remember one of the biggest parts of creator marketing is what you talked on, or like we talked about in the beginning, it's really about trust.
Yes.
So do you trust it? Or do you trust the person? And do you trust somebody that you connect with when you're like, okay, well, this creator that I follow, they're like me. So I believe in what they're saying because I can relate to them. I don't know that AI will do that, but AI is going to have a huge role. Like if you see AI creators in helping promote, like in helping talk about like, activations or campaigns, because it's going to be a more efficient way to get the word out there, to really kind of spread reach, to spread, even drive engagement. I think it's where we're going to see that sweet spot is where you see actual creators who are hopefully still maintaining that relationship with their audience, where there's that credibility, there's that trust, and they're using AI. So maybe they're using avatars, they're creating avatars of themselves for AI. And those avatars are used to help push versus to to actually have those community conversations.
This can definitely be, a game changer, especially in creator marketing, providing new levels of efficiency and insights to brands of all sizes. Now, Gabe, Edelman is a global communications firm known for driving impactful strategies for its clients, and you lead the creator marketing function at Edelman Canada. Now, from your perspective, how exactly does Edelman help top brands like Samsung and Microsoft build that trust that we talked about through creator-driven platforms, and how do you ensure that these campaigns deliver real and measurable impact?
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, first off, it's a whole team effort. So so my boss, who heads up creator marketing for all of North America, has a huge role in this. And then the entire team that works on it, like they're just amazing at what they do. So they help do this. So it's like definitely not a one-person team. It's a whole collective. But what we do with clients like Samsung, with clients like Microsoft, it's kind of, again, it's touching on that trust element. Yeah. So everybody knows who they are. So the awareness of for Samsung, a Microsoft, a Pepsi, an IKEA, it doesn't, everybody knows who they are.
Right.
So it's not necessarily about who's this brand?
Right.
It's more about how do you build that connection with a brand.
How does that brand fit into your life?
100%. Exactly. And it's like, and again, it goes back to when you work with the right creators. So if you're looking and identifying and building those long-term relationships with the right creators, the beauty is it becomes natural. So like Samsung is a great example of an amazing client who, has a bunch of different products. And like when creators work with them, they work with them long-term. They have a lot of long-term relationships, which is super important because there's that credibility. So now when they're talking about a Samsung device, people know about like, well, of course you're talking about Samsung device. You're with Samsung, or if it's a TV, oh my God, it makes a lot of sense. And what you build is that trust where their audience is kind of coming back to them and saying, well, like, if XYZ creator is talking to me about this, I know what they like. They believe it, right? So it's one of these things. It's like an interesting thing is the conversation that actually our head of global creator has said one time in an interview, which I thought was incredible. If you have the CEO of a company talking to you about how good a product is, their product is, do you believe them? You're kind of like, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Exactly.
You're the CEO, you're going to sweet talk.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah,
like, what do you, okay, what are you going to say? It's bad? Of course not. You're going to be like a little skeptical. If a creator that you trust is saying the same thing,
then there's the third person perspective.
100%. And that's the importance of it. It's that trust component where, when government is losing like credibility and trust, when business is losing credibility and trust, having creators to kind of step in and fill that gap and build trust for the brands, it's super important. So like that's what we've seen. The success that we've seen is helping connect these top brands with all brands, not even just top brands, but all these brands with creators who are helping to build trust for the brand.
That's lovely. That's, an impressive scope of work, Gabe. It's clear that Edelman is a leader in using creator marketing to achieve strategic marketing objectives for major brands. And, on that note, we also talked about you being an instructor in Hamburg. The teaching is something that, comes naturally to you. How did that happen? And I'm sure you talk to a lot of students. So how does that go for you?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was one of these things where it wasn't even a consideration for me for the longest time. And it just kind of happened where it's like the school reached out, Humber actually reached out and said, like, how would you like, we know that you work in this industry and you do all the, like, you've done it for so long. How would you like to teach it? And honestly, it was one of these things that's like, hey, why not? Let's try it. Right. Honestly, from day one, I loved it because it's the important thing is exactly what you're talking about. It's those conversations that you're able to talk to students who like, and I've taught like new students or students that are like starting their career, and as well as like continuing education students where they're in their industry and they're maybe wanting to kind of branch out and do different things. Mm-hmm. The beauty of it is having the conversations, and what I found it useful in my career from having mentors that used to do this for me. And what I try to do with them is like, here's real life examples of like, this is what you do. Because in theory, everything works.
Exactly.
In practice, not always, right? So you can actually give examples of like, well, when you're doing like with creator marketing is a great example. Like a lot of times you'd hear like creator marketing, like, oh, you would treat them like the medium. Not really. Like it's a very different dynamic. There's similarities definitely, but it's a very different dynamic. And like how you choose platforms and how you optimize on platforms and how that content gets developed. And it's all of these things that in practice, you learn through experience that you're able to kind of impart on like the next generation, which is phenomenal. Like I just really love that.
Wow, I'm very jealous of those kids, right now because they're learning from the best. On that note, apart from teaching, is there anything else that you've discovered over the course of your professional journey that this is something that you're passionate about? Yeah,
you mean like in terms of like this role or
anything,
just anything in general?
Yes.
Honestly, I'm like, it's really interesting because it's like one of these things where earlier in my career, I thought that like, I have my job and I'll do my job and then I'll be passionate about the other stuff.
Right.
It's kind of melded into one. Like, I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. And like, if there's any way that like me personally or like through our organizations, through opportunities like this are able to impart a bit more knowledge on like, hey, this is what creator marketing is and this is why it's important. That's what I want to do. Like, I just, it's beyond a job for me. Like, and it's like, it's a beautiful thing. Cause it's like, again, I'm blessed to have the team that I work with and they're like phenomenal. And the clients that we work with are phenomenal. It's so good. And it's like, if you can spread that, because I'm truthfully, there's so much opportunity in creator marketing.
Right.
Not all brands are taking advantage of it. And I understand like it's new. Even though it's like, it's been around now for a while, it's still new. relative to like TV or radio and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But there's so much opportunity. And if it's like, if I can help people who are in the industry to kind of push that along, happy. That's what makes me happy.
Wow, that's so wholesome. I'm loving this conversation and I don't want this to come to an end, but definitely we'll get him back for another episode 2.0 where we talk about so many other things. But before we let you go, if there's one piece of final advice that you have for our listeners today, something that you want them to remember about creators economy, about driving a change that's meaningful and impactful, what would it be and why?
If you're not doing it, start now. Like simple, it's pretty simple. Like honestly, if it's for brands that are waiting for the right moment to jump into creator marketing, now's the moment. Like, and it's like the more that you wait, the further behind you get. So take advantage of it. Like there's creators, the beauty of the creator economy today versus like 5 years ago versus 10 years ago is that there's a creator for everything. So like whatever your product, whatever your service, if it's B2C, B2B, if it's government, whatever it is, there's a creator that can help build that trust, that can help you get that message out there. So that the time's now.
All you have to do is start. That's a very powerful and actionable message, Gabe. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on the podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, that was an insightful conversation with Gabe Mederos, Vice President, Creative Marketing at Edelman, on the evolution of creative marketing, relationship management, the role of AI in brand storytelling, and Edelman's innovation and impact. To all of our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. We really appreciate your continued support. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more expert insights and resources that can help your business thrive. Also, don't forget to visit our website, CanadianSME.ca. And lastly, a very special thank you to our podcast partners, RBC, UPS, A1 Global College, ADP, and Google for their ongoing commitments to empowering SMEs in Canada. So, until next time, keep innovating and striving for success, and we'll see you in the next episode. Kripa Anand signing off.